Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At this time, I'd like to yield 4 minutes to Mr. Scott Garrett from New Jersey.
The gentleman is recognized for 4 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The authors of this resolution say that we should provide our troops with all the resources they need, whether it be armors, bullets, and Humvees. That is, all the resources they need except two, and I'd argue they are the most two critically important ones: manpower and the support of our national leaders. So this democratic resolution can be summed up in 3 simple words: to stay the course. The irony here is inescapable. Just months ago, the very same supporters of this resolution derided the Pentagon and the White House for proposing to stay the course. But today, they bring exactly that same strategy to life in their resolution. This resolution doesn't propose a new course of action. It doesn't have the courage of its author's rhetoric, convictions to change the course of the war. It simply states that this Congress will not support the new approach proposed by our new commander and the Iraq Study Group. General Petraeus, the chief architect of this new plan, was confirmed unanimously by the Senate, and yet many in that body and in this body are adamantly opposed to this very strategy he now seeks to implement. So it begs the question, if the general is the right man for the job, then why is his plan now not appropriate? They claim to support the troops, but seek to undercut their new leader's strategy. How can we support the troops when we insist that their orders are faulty? We cannot praise the general out of one side of our mouth while mocking him out of the other. We've heard it said that this resolution calls for a new direction in Iraq. But I defy those who say this to say what that new direction is. It's certainly not apparent in this resolution. This resolution is only an empty opposition to the Commander-in-Chief's plan to deploy the armed forces as the generals on the field see fit. This two-sentence resolution, sense of Congress, is not a new plan for victory. In fact, it is not even a new plan for bringing the troops home now, but to lead them in the field with under manpower. It is little more than a gift to our enemies who have been patiently awaiting the American naysayers to erode the American confidence in our mission. Our enemies do not lack morale, and we fuel their exuberance with this drive for success every time they hear us speculate on withdrawal. Our enemies are fighting against us and our servicemen and our allies with the belief that each headline brings them closer to victory. Our brave men and women in uniform are up to the task, but they need our support, not empty proposals that doubt their ability to secure the peace. You know, millions of peaceful Iraqis are struggling to rebuild their nation after the cruel reign of Saddam. They want an opportunity to build a better future for their children, and they ask for our help to secure that peace. Will we now stand aside with Al-Qaeda and Iran support factions that would enslave them once again? You know, it was Franklin Delano Roosevelt who knew the repercussions of failing to support those nations that are struggling for liberty when he said, and I quote, enduring peace cannot be bought at the cost of other people's freedoms," end quote. FDR also declared that we are committed to full support of all those resolute people everywhere who are resisting aggression and are thereby keeping war away from our hemisphere. We cannot have peace in Iraq by handing over those who would work to build a nation based on freedom and justice and peace, turn it over to those violent brethren who seek only destruction of those principles. Make no mistake about it. If we stay the course, as this resolution would have us do, it will not be long before this war returns to our shores. I would like to end with these words from two individuals. In the paths they have traveled to now, and the paths they've desired to take in the future could not be any more different. But they are equally strong in the passion that they bring to their belief. And their words should be instructive to both of us. The first, I have 30 seconds.
Yield 30 seconds to the gentleman.
30 seconds.
The first are the words of Abu Ammar al-Badagh, the leader of the Al-Qaeda in Iraq. He says, quote, "We have drunk the blood in the past, and we find no blood sweeter than that of Christians. Know that offense is in the forms of defense, and be careful not to lay down your weapons before the war is over." We may quibble over the words on the floor of the House of Representatives, but note the words of our enemies. In stark contrast, I would like to share the words of one of my constituents, Ron Griffin, who 45 months ago lost his son Kyle. He said, We never lost our alone.
Gentleman's time
We
has
literally carried
expired.
through our sorrows by the resolute, soothing, and comfortable hands of the
Gentleman's
countless
time
human
has
beings
expired.
whom I only hope.
I don't have any more time. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Let
Gentleman's
us
time
remember
has
the words
expired.
of our constituents who have lost their sons in this war. Thank you.